ATM times two. I don't know Darlene Marquardt. Her speech is from the pathway Persuasive Influence. Level 4, leading in difficult situations. Madam Timer, her speech is 5 to 7 minutes. The title of her speech, oh boy, that wasn't easy. Darlene will talk about situations that are difficult, but also requires leadership skills to navigate. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Darlene Marquardt. Oh boy, that wasn't easy. Darlene Marquardt.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests. Oh boy, that wasn't easy. In life, we have many situations where we're required to be the leader. In Toastmasters, really each one of us are the leader when we take on the various roles. There are times, though, when we're trying to do these roles and, well, we don't have it happen so much in our club, but I think sometimes it happens that maybe someone's cell phone rings and distracts us from what we're trying to listen to. Or maybe you see someone busy working on their phone and not paying any attention. You would notice that more in an in-person meeting than you would an online meeting. But there are lots of things during the meeting that can totally distract us. And as the leader, the Toastmaster or the speaker, whoever's got the floor talking, those little things, might be someone sitting next to you, talking to the neighbor on the other side, whispering. You can't tell what they're saying, but it's distracting. So how do you deal with it? Well, for one thing, remind everybody, if it's a large meeting, remind them to turn off their sound on their phone. That helps. And then when it's a bunch of grown-ups, you sort of have to hope that they just know what is polite. Sometimes you just have to focus and carry on and hope that whatever is annoying you as a speaker or the leader, that other people aren't noticing it. There are other times during life, though, when we're required to be a leader. Well, as you know, I'm a retired school teacher. As a teacher, I was the one in charge. I was the leader in the classroom. And when I was trying to teach something, a certain concept, there are students, sometimes a lot of them, sometimes just a few, one or two. They're good kids, but no matter how hard they try, if something pops in their head, comes out of their mouth, even if they're not the one in charge. Or no matter how hard they try to sit there and listen, they end up talking to the person next to them, or scooching around on their chair, making noise, or doing something that not only distracts the leader, but it distracts the whole classroom. So how do you deal with those things? That's kind of what this project in Toastmasters is having me think about. As a leader, how do I overcome things that make it hard to do what I'm trying to do? Well, the teacher, of course, has to stop and deal with the problem. And it does interrupt the whole lesson, but you got to do it. And if the child is belligerent, sometimes you have to call for help, like the principal. But if the child knows the principal is being called, they often straighten up and try harder. Though for some of them, it is really hard. They just, no matter how hard they try to be good, they have a hard time with it. There are other leadership things, areas that I've been in like my Hunter Education Instructors Association was one of the leaders on the executive board. And certain things we try to do, well, comes to mind. We're holding a raffle right now, but when we were preparing to get ready for this raffle, I kept asking the fundraiser person, the person who's in charge of fundraising, I kept asking him I told him I needed photos of the exact thing that we were going to be raffling. Well, I didn't really ever get it. He just said, go online, you'll find it. Well, that wasn't really very helpful for me. It was a distraction. It was something that as a leader, I had to figure out. I had to overcome his preoccupation with the other things that he was doing. There are other times when you're in a leadership position, having a cool, calm head. Don't panic when things don't go the way you want them to. But stop and think about it. Stop and think. Observe what's going on. Pinpoint the problem. And then do something about it if you can, in the kindest way possible. And that, again, is critical to be handling every situation with professionalism and kindness. If somebody in your group is distracting you while you're trying to speak or do whatever it is that you're doing, don't just yell at them, but be as gentle as you can. Sometimes they don't even realize they're doing something distracting. We all overcome all these little situations, and that's part of being a leader, is knowing how to handle them in a way that keeps the meeting flowing, keeps the classroom flowing, keeps whatever you're doing on the right track, and with the ability to not have everybody all in chaotic uproar, but focused on what they need to be doing or listening to. That's very important. So that's kind of what I learned when I was working on this project. Keeping a calm head and being professional about it. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much. And if you would, please stop the recording, Darlene,
Yes,
since you are the host
thank you for
at this
reminding us.
time.